Welcome everybody to the pilot episode of the Friday Night Fallacy podcast. About 3,000 people on the internet know me as Fluv. These guys know me as Sluss. Let's make our way around the table and introduce everybody.
I am Purple Turtle 991, or David, doesn't matter what you call me. Don't really have much of an internet personality at the moment, but who knows, we'll see where that goes.
Hello, my name is Ron Stapablo, formerly known as Ron. I have an Xbox gamer tag that goes by the same calling, and that's about it.
All right, so introductions out of the way. Let's talk about, I guess, for a little bit what this podcast is going to be. Everyone listening at home for the first time, this is our first impression we have to give to you. So we don't really have an idea for this episode. Maybe we'll come up with different ideas in the future, but we're just going to have three guys sit down in a call and bullshit for a half hour. So I hope you guys are ready for this.
And we're all kind of retarded, so that's usually a pretty good time when you get three special kids in one room.
Yeah, three guys who met in college and haven't really talked too much sense.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I knew Austin in high school, back when he was even more awkward and even more painful.
Oh,
The correct name is Ron, I'm just saying. But yes. Yeah, back in high school, I met the man formerly known as Purple Turtle, or David. And I have to say that the both of us have actually declined since then. We've gotten more and more brain dead. Brain cells are depleting by the day. I blame the alcoholism, but really it's just because I was born stupid.
The mental capacity is only dropping as we speak.
Yeah.
And Ron, what are you talking about? Alcoholism does not run in your family.
Exactly, alcoholism doesn't run in my family.
Does it run in your family, Dave?
I don't think so.
It does in mine.
No, addictive personalities run, or addictive. Yeah, is it addictive personalities?
Addiction. Personalities, yes.
Whatever.
Addiction.
We have addictive personalities in my family, so that's cool. That's why I have numerous drug problems. I have a crippling cocaine addiction. Methamphetamine only on the weekends, but it's still a routine thing.
Yeah, it's all a good time.
Everyone's got to love their recreational cocaine usage.
Yeah, I want to point something out, though. This is called the Friday Night Fallacy podcast. The whole point is that we sit down and record on a Friday night. It is Saturday at 7:30 p.m. So already we're off to a great start in getting our shit together, am I right?
You know what? It's Friday for some island deep in the Pacific. I mean, who's splitting hairs, really?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Where do time zones actually, end? Because, if you think about it, China's 8 hour. China's, a lot of hours ahead of us,
yes.
Right? So between China and California, there's, the time zone, just recedes, right?
It has it has to do with where the sun is relative to where that spot on the earth is, plus the rotation of the earth kind of dictates that too. So that's why some places are ahead and some places are behind.
Wow,
that's true. I don't really trust China too much. They were already on September 11th and they didn't warn us about 9/11. Disappointed.
Yeah, you know what?
Jesus
I'm not even gonna lie to you, dude. My microphone's made in China. I might have to break that thing right about now.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So
should we talk more about ourselves and give the lovely folks at home an idea of who exactly they're listening to, or do you want to just talk about something else?
I think
let's just hop right into our lovely hometown.
Oh, all right. So yeah, that makes sense. Where we all come from. So I mean, we said before, we all met each other in college. That was not the kind of college where people from across the country or the globe even come to conglomerate. No, it was a little branch campus of a small university that was in our hometown. So we weren't the lucky ones who got to venture out into the world at 18 years old with no responsibility. We kind of all lived at home, drove to school. Small town, everybody knows each other. there's not much to do around here. The only things you can really do in the summertime when there's nothing going on, if you don't have a job, is to hang out at Sheets, hang out in the woods, or go to someone's house. And that's literally it.
I'll tell you what, some great memories are made in all of those places, especially Sheets.
Oh,
because
of course.
You run into some fantastic people in Sheets, might I add.
Oh, of course. Don't forget all the people revving their engines at 4 o'clock in the morning who get the stadies called.
Are you one of those people?
Absolutely not. But boy, have I been kicked out of a Sheets parking lot more times than I can count because of them assholes.
It's funny because that Sheets opened up when we were in high school. So what did people even do before that Sheets opened up?
They all did crack.
That would make sense.
Well, of course. Like I said, recreational crack use is good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But don't do drugs, kids.
No, don't do drugs.
No, it's bad.
Yeah. That's disclaimer here. Drugs are not condoned. Just because we do them does not mean that we're an idle model for you folks at home. Mainly younger children. If you're listening to this, younger children, go play with like a fucking Bob the Builder set or something. I don't know. Why the fuck are you listening to a podcast? Anywho, move forward. No little kids anymore. So, speaking of cocaine,
right?
We weren't speaking about cocaine.
No, we were not. But continue, because now I'm interested.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I kind of want to try cocaine.
Story time with Ron.
That's it. There's no story. I just want to try cocaine.
Well, if that ever does happen, you better do it on the podcast, because then that's some content right there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a powdery cream to my left.
A powdery cream? Excuse me?
Yeah.
Powder?
I don't think that makes sense.
Powder is one form of matter, and cream is a very...
Here, let me... I'm going to show it to the boys. We're in a Discord call right now, so I'm...
is that coffee
what I
creamer?
can do is I can... Yeah. So basically, this is coffee creamer, but in powder form.
Right.
So technically, what I can do is I can snort coffee creamer that's in a powder form.
Please do it. I would greatly appreciate
That's
it.
as close. I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it with a dollar bill because everybody that does snorting activities does it with a dollar bill. So while I'm trying to get some powder laid out here,
it's gonna be interesting over the audio play-by-play here.
Well, I'm trying to keep things interesting because we're desperate for content because this is our first run. I'm gonna go throw this away. So, you guys, I don't know, talk about something cool like, like gay men. Talk about gay men.
I'll keep the authorities on speed dial in case this goes wrong.
Of course, 911. What's your emergency?
I have a friend that snorted coffee creamer, and he's currently crippled in a chair. I'm worried he's going to choke on blood that's coming out of his nose and at the same time going back down his throat.
Well,
Ron, what are you expecting to happen with
did he
this?
at least tell you about the euphoria he experienced in the moment that he did snort the coffee creamer? I'm hoping it's worth it. If that's the risk you're taking, a potential paralysis.
That sounds worse than cocaine.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So back on the topic of gay men, do you know what dick dingers are?
No, please share.
Okay, so actually, it corresponds with what I'm doing very well. Dick dingers are where a man gets an erect penis, and then another man decides that he's going to snort cocaine, do a line basically off of the erect penis of another man. And unfortunately, I don't have another man with me or an erect penis in sight, so my laptop is just gonna have to do.
Oh, your demons are coming out tonight.
Demons are always out.
So okay. How did you learn about this lovely pastime?
Well, as a matter of fact, I watched this interesting show. It's called Letterkenny, and they talk about a lot of interesting topics in the modern world. Period. And one of those things that they were talking about was they referred to it as hoovering schneef, which is AKA cocaine usage. and when talking about cocaine, they brought up dick dingers, and dick dingers, again, like I mentioned, snorting cocaine off of erect penises.
Okay, so they're the ones with the personal first-hand experience.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So they have the personal first-hand experience. I just watched the show and gained that knowledge on my own. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to snort this this coffee creamer that's in a powder form, and then I'm going to hope for the best. All right? So if you think we're desperate for content now, just wait until the next about 5 podcasts from now.
This is becoming an educational podcast very quickly. I'm learning so much.
I'm sure I'll start eating tissues or something like that at some point in time.
Well, we did say we were a little slower.
I didn't know we were that slow, though.
Holy shit.
Ovi did it.
Oh, my God. Oh.
How's that feel?
I didn't even finish it.
Are you going back?
I
don't know
can't.
If that's not a good idea. Yeah.
I think.
How do your lungs feel?
I'd need to go into the other nostril if I want to do another round, but I don't think I should do that. However, I have a bunch of. Oh, you know what my issue is? Is that I left it in a pile. I didn't cut it up with a card. Give me a second. All right, we're gonna use an old Turkey Hill gift card. All right, because it doesn't have any money on it.
If you get liquid in your lungs, it's pneumonia. But what happens if you get like powder in your lungs? That's gotta be a problem, right?
If you get powder in your lungs, that's called a normal Saturday night.
Okay.
Well, not for everybody. Maybe for you.
Well, I really don't think I'm doing this right. I've never cut a powder with a card before, so I'm just kind of doing this and.
This is riveting content. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So anyway, back to dick dingers. This is a normal pastime. It's actually a pastime of.
I apologize for the interjection, but according to HealthLink BC, inhaling a substance into your lungs can cause a lung inflammation and infection, aspiration pneumonia. The situation may be more serious when signs of choking, complete airway obstruction are present.
Oh, well, good thing I don't have complete airway obstruction or any kind of choking going on here. So back to the second round.
Experts say it's safe.
And
back to the second round of.
You do have practice with this, since there was the one time you crushed up M&Ms and snorted M&Ms.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I've ever done that.
I knew this kid in middle school who thought he was top shit for taking Tic Tacs in between classes and smashing them with his math textbook and then snorting them in the hallway. He did this every day for about 3 weeks.
So you knew some interesting middle school characters.
Oh yeah, now he's he's like 21 years old and pregnant. Or no, he has a kid. He's had a kid for a couple of years now.
He's pregnant.
He's pregnant.
What kind of guys did you go to school with?
I went to school with a couple of guys that are now girls, if that gives you any idea.
I was gonna say, apparently he went to school with the kind of guys that are no longer guys anymore.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? I have no obstruction for that. Actually, there was a tech aide at my high school that actually converted to being a woman. Had gender dysphoria and battled it for many years, and finally made the switch. And honestly, I just want to say, give a round of applause for the tech aide real quick. It's difficult.
There you go.
It's a difficult transition.
Supporting everybody.
Yeah,
we're inclusive here in this shithole.
Yeah,
we try to be inclusive. Either we're inclusive or we offend that population.
Dave is shaking
which we're
his
trying
head.
to include. One way or another. Okay, so
you'll never know whether I said yes or no.
So you said round 2, right?
If you really want to, yeah.
Well,
sure.
I mean, like I said,
please.
Well, what the fuck else are we gonna do? Like, we don't have what's. Do we have anything else to talk about before I get desperate? Or
I can talk to you about my music taste.
Okay, I'd rather just snort a second.
Austin,
go.
Yeah.
No, I'm not listening.
You don't want to talk about music?
No, fuck you. I'm not listening
sure?
to music taste. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Is it euphoric?
Oh Jesus, fuck! That's immaculate.
I think we've discovered a new thing here,
Yo,
ladies and gentlemen.
That's amazing. I think that's the best thing I've ever done in my life.
I wonder if Tic Tacs are better though, because you get that cool mint sensation of the menthol shooting up into your nasal cavity.
Yeah.
And down to your lungs.
So maybe that kid that has a child now at 21 years old was onto something.
Maybe he's nature's true winner.
More the winner of a Darwin Award. I don't know.
You know what? I've never had vanilla caramel in my lungs before, but now that I have it, I think I'm gonna do it again sometime because that's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, it'll become a tradition.
Yeah. Okay. So back to dick dingers.
It'll be a tradition for the NFL.
Can you shut? I'm trying to talk about dick dingers.
Are we seriously gonna talk about dick dingers for 15 minutes?
No. I'm done talking about dick dingers.
Okay.
I just don't have anything else interesting to add.
I mean, we could talk about the one city very close to us that was known for the purest cocaine within our state. I know someone who went to a high school there. He's my roommate at college. And he was like, we were sitting in lunch, and they made the announcement that our city has the purest cocaine within the state. And everyone stood up and cheered.
I mean, if that's the city I'm talking, if that's the city I think you're talking about, I have a story about that lovely place too.
Oh, bring it on! Bring it up.
So in high school, I was a hashtag student athlete, used the fire emoji and everything in every Instagram post I ever made. I was a soccer player, okay, for my high school.
Ooh,
now,
did you fake injuries?
Well, it was soccer, so yes, that was part of the game. Like if someone runs past you, you fall on the ground. It's called flopping. But sometimes, if it's convincing enough, the ref will call a foul on the other kid. Well, then there was the one school who did the complete opposite and would clothesline kids in the middle of the field. So
and they wouldn't get called for it, right?
They wouldn't get called for it because everybody hated our school. But there's different sides of the two sides of the same coin. You can kind of take the strategy as you will, but that's another story for another day. The place we're talking about, it was my first time going to that school for a soccer meet. Last year, the year before that. They came to us and they played at home for us. So our coach is telling us about this place for the kids who haven't been there before. And he's like, listen, we call this place the Dust Bowl because the soccer field does not have any grass actually growing up on top of it. It consists of tumbleweeds and broken needles. Now, I wish I was joking, but we may not have found any needles that day. However, this one girl on our team, and it was a co-ed soccer team because we didn't have enough girls for the girls' team, Title IX, all that nonsense. So the one girl on our team, her mother, sweet old lady, gets up and has to go use the porta potty at the Dust Bowl. And she opens the door to the porta potty and finds a man passed out with 2 needles in his arm.
Oh, Jesus.
She flipped the fuck out. Called the cops. Man. High school soccer game.
Did the game continue?
The game did continue. We didn't hear about this till after it ended.
Bunch of soldiers, man. That's
good. That's how you know it's a good time.
Yeah, high school soccer. High school soccer's a bloodbath, man.
Yeah. When you play through an overdose, though, that's some champion.
It wasn't a kid that was overdosed or anyone affiliated with the soccer team. It was some random dude.
Either way, there's still an overdose in the premises, Normally, you go to take photos of that instead of keep playing the soccer game, but, you guys kept playing, so...
You played in honor of the overdosed man.
We did. I heard no other news about him. I don't know what his well-being was past that point. I got no updates. I hope that man's okay.
I can guarantee you that man's got a needle in his arm right now.
Probably.
Speaking of a person with no updates... We had this one friend who went to college with us. Sluss and I's freshman year, Ron's sophomore year.
Right.
It's the spring semester of this new year, 2018. And this kid decided, I don't like college. And he didn't want to tell his parents, so he enrolled in college and had a full 18 credit load and was paying tuition. But decided, I'm not going to class. So he would bring his Xbox One onto campus, go to the commuter common room, plug in his Xbox, set up a hotspot and play his Xbox, whether it was Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, anything. He would go from about 9 a.m. until about 6 p.m. every day, stopping sometimes to go and get food. But that was kind of rare. Well, as you can assume, his GPA plummeted. But you don't get your cumulative GPA until the end of the semester. So, what I'm about to tell you, acquired from the first semester when he was putting in some effort. So, there were these people walking around going to do a survey of something. I don't know if it was for some club or class or just something with Penn State. But they walked up, they were like, hey, could you do this survey for us? And all of us did it, and all of us were like, okay, whatever. He gets it. You have to put your name in it, what semester you are, what your major is, what your GPA is. Then they ask, are you happy with your GPA? Or would you like to improve your GPA? Well, this man decides, I'm enjoying this. He puts his name down, puts his major down, engineering. Then he's like, yeah, this is my second semester. Then he puts his GPA down. Well, you wouldn't believe how low it was. It was a 0.3. In one semester, he got a 0.3. And that was with him trying. I don't know if he was trying to get the lowest possible GPA, but here we are. I honestly didn't think you can go below a 1. But it moves to the next questions. Are you happy with your GPA? And with this comedic smile of, I just don't give a fuck. He's like, of course, I'm very happy with my GPA. And you could assume what he says next. He had no intentions of improving his GPA. And he just stands up, shows it to us all, and we're like, you cannot give this to them. This is bad. It's like, no, I don't care. I want them to have this. He was committed. He was very committed. We encouraged him not to, but it was all for nothing. So he walks up to these two girls, these poor girls, and he's like, here, this is for you. And they're smiling. Oh, thank you for doing this for us. And then they look at it. Their smile turns to a disappointed frown. And then they put their heads down. And then they just slowly walk away.
Were these two students, or were they faculty members?
I don't remember.
You know,
I don't remember. This was 3 years ago.
I have to think that these poor girls were definitely just trying to do like a survey for the student body, that they were trying to get some good results and something like, you know, some helpful feedback on improving, I don't know, something on campus. And this tall, lanky man with just the
no motivation.
No, he decides to throw him a fucking curveball.
No motivation and an emphatic smile, hands them a piece of paper that they looked at, and they knew they had to have thought that he was just like completely fucking with them, because like nobody gets a 0.3 GPA and says, I don't want to improve this and I'm satisfied with it. And so they knew at that moment in time that, number one, this man was not sane, and number two, their efforts were pointless because people just like this man were going to give the exact same results.
I don't know. I'll tell you what.
The best part about
I bet those girls thought he was joking.
That's what I'm saying.
I bet they were trying to ruin their survey results. I don't think they thought that he was actually serious with any of those answers.
They probably...
If I'm not mistaken, they asked him if he was serious, and he showed them his GPA. The best part about it was he looked at his GPA, and he didn't realize what it was at. And when he saw it, do you remember? He was just laughing.
I don't even know if I was present for this. I think you told me this story. I might have been in class at the time. You might have told me this after I came back. Because I remember the story, but I don't remember being there.
We were in awe. It was unprecedented.
Yeah.
I honest to God, even though his GPA was that low and he didn't have intentions of going to school, I would have at least expected him to be like, yeah, I could improve it. I wouldn't mind. But no, I I am very satisfied with my 0.3 GPA, and I have no intentions of improving this. I like this.
I mean, I can't talk shit. I dropped out of college not long after he did.
Yeah, and I think when you have that mentality of I'm dropping out, then you really don't, you embrace stuff like that, because he recognized that in the long run, it wasn't going to mean anything.
Yeah, college ain't for everybody. However, wasting money on a whole semester, that's not the recommended play.
That's
if you boys remember correctly, he knew he was going to drop out
at the beginning of the semester.
Before the beginning of the semester. At the end of the first semester, he was like, I'm going to drop out, but I'm not going to tell my parents. So I'm enrolling for classes and just going to tell them that I'm going to class. And instead, he was like, I'm going to get me the Xbox Series, or the whatever Xbox One was. The Xbox One Pro?
Xbox One S.
One S, that's it.
Yes.
And he got that. He brought in his 4K TV, and he just started playing video games every day.
You know what? Honestly, I gotta commend this man for having some giant testicles there, because if you pay for a whole semester of college just to get a 0.3 GPA and brag about it, man, that's some kind of flex.
Yeah, I mean, I would brag about it too, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him. And it was, we as a collective whole were actually very, because I remember he didn't tell his parents, and we were always like, yo, did you tell your mom yet? And he was always like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And then he never did. And I guess when he stopped trying to hide it, and instead he started working a full-time job.
He started to drive a forklift.
Well,
yeah, he started to drive a forklift.
No,
for
the
a
best
living.
part was he even tried to pull it off into the next semester, the next year, because for a while into the fall semester of our sophomore year, he was still coming every day.
What?
Yeah, he still came every day to play video games.
I was gone at that point.
He came to the campus, and he would again come to the lounge area, the common commuter area, and hook up his Xbox, play Rainbow Six Siege, Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever. And he would just sit there and play it all day. And then everybody would be like going to class. We'd all be like popping in and out. And every single time you would go back to the commuter area, there he was, playing Xbox. And we were always like, say we were walking from class to, try and figure out what we were doing for food, like lunchtime, a couple of us get done. We're like, okay, let's go to lunch. Let's go see who might be there that might want to tag along. And he was going to be in there every time. It got to the point where a few weeks into the semester, we were like, all right, we were like, okay, who's coming to lunch? Jimmy, Johnny. And they were like, oh, he's coming. He has to come because he's not doing anything else with his life. And, yeah.
Oy vey.
It was so
funny. I have no words.
Yeah.
He was an interesting man.
He still is an interesting man. It was funny,
though. Partway through that fall semester, he just stopped showing up as much. And we were like, yo, what happened? Oh, my mom found out I'm not going to college. She made me get a full-time job.
Well, that would be the sensible thing to do. If you're not going to college and you're not working, what the fuck are you doing then?
Exactly.
I mean,
but it's tall, lengthy boy.
I made the decision to drop out with the intentions of going back. Took a year to work and figure out what I was gonna do with my life. Learning the bartender things, working at a upscale place in downtown. And
got some good life experience there, right?
And I made some money. Buddy. Yeah, I met a lot of gay men, a lot of older gay men. Not because it was an upscale place, not too many young people would really afford to go in there. So a lot of older gay men. I'm not even joking. I had a few of them hit on me a couple times. It was an interesting experience and got really creepy after a while.
Did they give you the big tip?
No, they didn't even. A couple of them did. So some gay men tip very well, and then assholes are assholes no matter what form they take.
You're right.
There's two people in this world: the people that are assholes and the people that
are well tipping gay men. Yes,
exactly. Now I have to ask: did any of them ever propose the idea of doing a dick dinger with you?
No, I never got that education. Unfortunately.
Now I do have to ask: would you be the one doing the dinger, or would you be the one that is the dick?
Hell, I ain't touching a penis, man. Inhaling any fumes of that a penis emanates can contain bacteria and other harmful substances and do damage to your body. I would much rather have the erect penis, which some godforsaken individual is snorting cocaine off of, and that's that.
Amen, sister.
So, of course, the cocaine, not a problem. The penis, that is a problem. I mean, that's stepping over the edge.
Yeah, that's going too far. You're putting your health in danger at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we turned the kids away from this, didn't we? So now we can, talk to whatever adults are interested in listening to dick dingers. So now we get to share our opinions.
Yeah.
That's the lovely part about having a podcast, is that you can share your unique opinion about subjects such as dick dingers.
Exactly. I'm gonna finish my my story about the bartending situation that kind of ended on a weird note where I was talking about gay men tipping me well. So I worked the job at the bar for about a year and a half with the intention of going back to college after I figured out what kind of major I would want to figure out. So this was right before the COVID season, the lovely summer of death. Right before that, I decided to go back for another semester for this new degree. I was looking at technically it's an arts degree, which should already be a major red flag, but it was like a multimedia digital design kind of a catch-all degree on either whether it's video creation or graphic design, a lot of things that come along with that in the digital space, social media management, like that kind of shit. So it was really interesting to me. I went for a semester and I realized this is not a good field to get into. It's oversaturated. You don't need to learn a lot of that shit in college for that field specifically. You just go and get a job and do that, which I didn't even do. I kind of came to the realization that the trades are actually a way better thing for me. So I got a job working that, and now I'm fixing people's boilers and refrigerators.
Vacuums.
Not vacuums, no.
But it's called HVAC.
HVAC. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning.
Oh, man.
Vacuums.
And, I'm starting now making more money than I did at the bar, and my salary's only going to go up over the next 5 years. So, I mean, hey, I'm living it right now.
And that's why you're the only one here with a mic stand.
That is. I can afford a $20 mic stand.
That's a lot of money.
$20, man? Dude, I make that. Yeah.
I mean, listen, if you're a kid, think back to the days before you could drive and before you had a car. $20 was a lot.
Listen, if Big Pops gave me $20, I was balling.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care where I was going. I was like,
and you'd blow it immediately. The saving meant nothing to you.
Yeah, because it wasn't my money. It was my dad. He was like, here's $20.
You know what I like to do with my $20 that I would get here and there?
Yeah, sure.
Buy cocaine?
So every Friday, this was back in the days when mall walkers were a thing.
Huh.
So our local mall used to have an arcade. And what I decided would be a good way to spend my money is I would go to the arcade every single Friday and spend like $20 or $30 playing air hockey for 3 hours.
Unfortunately, that arcade isn't even open anymore. That closed a long time ago.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing about that is I actually had like notoriety amongst people at the mall because people would find me and be like, yo, play air hockey with me.
Yo, the weird air hockey
I want to try and beat you. Again. No, the people at the arcade actually enjoyed my company. And it came to a point where they were like, we're close to putting up plexiglass around it, so when you play air hockey,
You're good there. Take a second. Take a second. All right.
Go ahead, breathe.
The puck doesn't fly off the table. Because we'd be in the middle of a game, we'd hit the puck, and all of a sudden it would end up on top of the second floor of the arcade behind a machine. And they'd just look at us and say, again?
That's
really?
Just
How did you manage that?
That's just bad form, Dave. You got to work on your technique a little bit.
How the fat turtle fuck did you get that up there?
I don't know.
That's
a lot. I guess it took practice, but to be fair, I was one of the few people that rarely lost Very few people could beat me.
You're a little air hockey savant.
I suck at air hockey now. I'm sad.
Small Chinese kids get really good at ping pong, and small Italian kids get really good at air hockey, I guess.
Well, you see, when it's a Friday night, you have nothing else you can do because you're 13 and walking the mall is cool. You go to the arcade because the mall's ass.
I did not go to the mall at 13. I stayed home and played Pokemon Emerald on my Game Boy.
Yeah,
I wasn't that cool, I apologize.
I got a PS3 at 13, and I didn't leave my house until I was about 18, so...
Yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, that was around that time.
I spent so much time on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I probably still have something... That Black Ops 2 and Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, those were the games I put the most time in Call of Duty.
Those two games I spent way too much fucking time on.
Actually...
And then there's me. Everyone hates the games I spent most of my time on.
Your taste is
Ghost
shit,
and
Dave.
Advanced Warfare.
Your taste is dog shit, Dave, let me tell you.
Listen, I like what I like, and I'm unapologetic about it.
Nobody cares what you like, Dave. It's bad.
That's the harsh reality.
I'll eat your ass, I swear to God.
Fun fact, I actually tried playing Black Ops 2 not too long ago. I whipped out my PS3, dusted it off, plugged it in, paid for PlayStation Plus again. And there was 5...
Wait, does PS3 require PlayStation Plus now?
It didn't used to, but it does now.
Yeah.
I fire up...
That is dumb.
Yeah, I fire up Black Ops 2 for the first time, and the game's, 8-9 years old now, I think. I probably even played it in like 7 years or so. I fire it up. I get online. There's 500 people playing.
9 years old.
I learned quickly that I was not as good as I remember myself being at that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I went 2-34 in my first game.
Nice.
Well, that's what happens when you switch over to the PC.
Yeah,
Master
I'm not what you call a god on the. I'm not a god on the sticks. I haven't touched a controller in a long time. PC Master Race for the win.
I mean, in all honesty, you were probably against one or two guys that had their cow-designed USB drive plugged into their PS3 ports.
Yeah, they were probably
with
cheating.
All kinds of fucking mods on there.
Probably cheaters.
All you have to do is hold the left trigger or whatever, and then the right trigger, and then what your guy does is he has several aneurysms in a matter of seconds and headshots every single living member of the other team, no matter where they are on the point in the map, and then they would call in swarms, which would make Hank Hill tank noises every single time that one of them would come to Earth. So all you would hear is, "Damn it, Bobby."
Propane.
Oh, and don't forget you'd prestige 6 times because you'd get 3H37X to the 10th power XP in one kill.
Yeah. How about, that was always cool.
I remember
I bought it in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and now my account is banned indefinitely. I thought it was cool in high school. Yeah. I think I was a senior, and I'm like, listen, I want to go back to the good old days, play Modern Warfare 2. Problem is, everybody is hacking now these days. So you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. Am I right? So I download the aimbots, get them loaded. I was gonna hard mod my Xbox to get that working. I ended up frying the circuit board. The Xbox is no longer with us, so I bought it on PC and modded it on PC, and got caught after about 3 days of headshotting people across the map with the intervention.
Nice. Yeah, I actually that was actually how I broke my first PS3. Was I remember back in the day. One of the most popular things was I don't even remember. There was like wall hacks, and then there was something where your mini map was just always constant. And I remember I thought that was the greatest thing ever, and I was like, man, I could get so many nukes. And then I even had like an aimbot or something. I don't even know. I left my PS3 on for 3 days because I didn't want to lose that. Now, to anybody that's ever had a PS3, you cannot leave a PS3 on for 3 days because 3 days straight for a PS3, well, you might as well just take a blowtorch to that fucking thing because it was deceased after that.
Oh,
and
no.
I got the I think it was the blue light of death or something like that. It's like the Xbox variation of losing your console, and
I think it's yellow.
yeah, something like that. And then I cried, because that was
You a bitch.
that was my baby.
I've
And
never
the
heard
fact
of
that-
PS3s frying before. This is new territory.
Yeah, well,
Well, that's what happens when you leave a system that came out in like 2008 on for 3 days
what
in a
about the
row.
earlier
Yeah.
consoles where you'd have to leave your game running overnight if you wanted to save your progress? Like some of the older shit, those things will last forever.
yeah.
What about the Super Nintendo? I had an
Hey,
Xbox original.
Those were made like bricks.
Yeah.
You could throw it down the stairs, kick it 6 times, and then use it to beat an intruder that came into your house.
Fair point.
And it would work better.
Or if I wanted to unlock Mewtwo in Super Smash Bros. Melee, I had to leave the game running for 24 hours.
That was back when consoles were consoles.
That's a fair point. Well, I think we've rambled on for long enough. I think that was a good first take of this podcast that we're going to start doing. So I don't know how you guys want to close this out.
I just want to end this episode by saying that this is our Friday Night Fallacy podcast. We hope to continue. Hopefully in future episodes, I don't actually have to nobody has to resort to desperate content like snorting powder coffee creamer, or anything along those lines. But, again, we like to come together, shoot the shit every now and then, and hopefully we will actually stick to recording this on a Friday night. If not, I mean, I don't know, we'll post it on a Friday. That'll be good enough.
Yeah, Ron's already got a character arc. He's learned from his evil ways of snorting coffee creamer.
Yeah, and then
Like the G he is.
yeah, and then I've also recognized that dick dingers are not the way to go, and
From experience, of course.
from experience.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, being the guy snorting, you don't want to, but being the guy who's getting snorted off of, I mean, why not?
Yeah, we've learned a lot today, and I think that's where we're going to wrap this up. So we'll see you guys next time.
Have a nice night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. Peace out, Girl Scouts.